Now, if I ask you a question, how many of you are praying to see the glory manifest in your life? I'm sure every hands will go up. And if I ask the same question, how many of you are praying or desiring to see the glory manifest in your church or ministry? All pastors' hands and all ministry leaders' hands will go up. Am I right, everybody? But before the prophet Moses could come and stand in the glory presence of God, he first had to cleanse himself. In Exodus chapter 3 verse 5 we read that the Lord told him, remove your shoes. You are standing on holy ground. Don't take a step closer. First remove your shoes. Meaning, cleanse yourselves. The shoe symbolizes defilement. Because he had walked all over. That's why God told the prophet Moses, remove your shoes. Because the shoe had all the filth walking everywhere. Of course, the prophet Moses was not looking after chickens, he was looking after sheep. So sheep poo was there, right? And you step on the sheep poo, on the urine, all the dirt and all the stuffs were there. So, this symbolizes uncleanness, abomination, filthiness. The Lord said, remove that. Before you can come into my glory, remove. And secondly, you read in Exodus chapter 19, the Lord told the prophet Moses to prepare the children of Israel to see his glory. But before that, they need to cleanse themselves for 3 days. Prepare their hearts, prepare their minds, remove all the filthiness from them before they can come before holy God to see his glory. So this is the word of the Lord. From cleansing to glory. Before you can receive the glory of God for your personal lives as well as for your ministry or for your church, cleansing must first take place. So, unless and until we as an individual or a church as a whole cleanses and purifies, which is the work of sanctification. Unless you do that, God will not fill you or your church with his glory. He cannot do that. He may bless you. The blessings will be there. His presence will come. But not the glory. Now, you please try to imagine like that. If that day, when the Lord told the prophet Moses to remove his shoes, what if he had said, no, I will not do that? You try to imagine now. And I will tell you now, I will share with you now a true incident that took place in my ministry. We were conducting a women's conference in Tanzania, in the northern part of Tanzania. So on the last day of the meeting, I usually will lay my hands on all the women to impart the last day's anointing that's been reserved for them according to the word in Psalm 16 verse 11. So there were about 3,000 women, not 3,000, 2,000 who had come from all over South Africa for the conference. So I told them, this is what we are going to do. We are going to fast and pray. And the Lord clearly told me, ask them to remove all their shoes, put them outside before they enter into the auditorium. So I gave them all these clear instructions the night before. And there was a senior man of God who was like a highly respected pastor in that region, who was invited by the hostess, the lady who invited me. She had invited the pastor to just sit in the meeting, Now this pastor, before I tell you about this pastor, so the following morning, when I came into the church, to that auditorium, it was in a public auditorium, I found everyone wearing their shoes. I was shocked. So I called this hostess. I said, "Come here, my dear daughter." I said, "Didn't I tell you, give you clear instruction how we are going to do this service today?" She started crying. She said, "Papa, I want to tell you something." I said, "What is it?" That man, after you left yesterday, he went up to the stage and he told them, "Oh, we shall not remove our shoes because it's an Indian culture. We are Africans. We don't want to follow the Indian culture. It's a cultural thing for them to do. So you don't need to remove your shoes. You just come because God receives you as you are." He told them that. And so now what shall we do? Everybody have gathered. So I just went to a corner. I removed my shoes and I put it, because I have to obey what God told me to do. I removed my shoes. I left it in a corner. I ministered in the meeting. During the time of laying of hands, the Lord never showed up. He never came. Because of disobedience. He never came. So I ended up laying empty hands on empty heads. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, please. This is not a funny thing. And I was so upset, very upset. Because this involves people's destiny, and all it took was one man to destroy everything. So I was very upset. I told that hostess, "I will never come back to your city if you will repeat this one more time. If you will compromise." But that lady who organized the meeting is a very dear daughter of mine. And she is a true intercessor in Tanzania. She's short, but she is a dynamite when it comes to intercessory prayer. And they say, great things comes in small packages. Small woman, only this height and small, thin, but a powerful intercessor. So now the following day, now I'm leaving the city. This pastor who destroyed the meeting, he came with his wife to get blessings. So he told me, "Prophet, we are expecting God to bless us with another child. We already have a child, we want another child, and there's been a long gap between the first child and the child to be. So will you please bless me?" When it comes to prayer, I will always put away my personal feelings and pray for the people according to what they ask. But that day when I stood to pray, the Lord told me, "I'm not going to hear your prayer if you will pray for them, and tell him for what he did, I am not going to bless them. I'm shutting their womb. They'll never have a child." And I told him that. See, if you destroy the temple of God, God will destroy your house. So when they refuse to remove the shoes, see what happened? They missed the glory. It's not a cultural thing, no? It's a biblical thing.